So here we have programmed swing demo, which is just a simple program to create frame, that is J frame, because it is a swing component, and a simple label on it, and that label just displays a message on the frame. That means on the label, of course. So here we have seen that program yesterday. Uh, Let us just quickly have the explanation of it. We have imported swing class or swing package, I mean, and then our class name is swing demo. Here we have a constructor swing demo, and then on this line we are creating one frame with the title my swing application. I have set the size, set default close operation, which is exit on close. Now this exit on close, what are the other values? That explanation is there in the book. So let us quickly see that. Yeah. So in this complete reference, entire description of the program is given, how we set the size and what are the parameters of that method. See here. So set default close operation. Here, this accepts one parameter which is of the type some constant value, and these constants are defined in the class called a JFrame. So what are these constants? What should be done? What should be done when the frame window is closed? So that should be specified here, and these constants are defined in JFrame class. So which all constants can be used? First is dispose on close, then hide on close, do nothing on close. Best apart from exit on close. So best thing will be exit on close, which will just terminate the program and it will clear the memory which is allocated. Fine, that's why we make use of exit on close. But even if you use these other values, even that will work. Fine. Then as you all know, let us go back to the program here. Anyway, the program description is here itself. On the next line, we have created one label with the title swing means powerful GUI. Then we have added a label on the frame. So frame object name is JFRM, and we have added the label name we have to pass here. Then next is set visible. We have set the frame to visible, and then here, as we have seen in our program yesterday, since it is an application, we require main method. Inside main method, what exactly we should do is we should call the constructor. To give a call to the constructor, we can just simply say new swing demo. Yesterday someone was asking me a question here that complete object is not created. Yeah, let me just quickly tell you, whenever you create an object, you will be creating like this, complete object. Swing demo obj equal to new swing demo. Even if you do like this, there is no, I mean, it is one and the same. So when we say this complete line, or when we type this complete line, when it gets executed, actually a memory will be allocated to the created object, and that object construction happens through this constructor. Sometimes what do we want to do is, now this thing, when we create an object and we allocate a memory space, that time what happens is, whenever we want to use that object for our future reference, then this thing is useful. I can give you one simple example. It's like, now we have appointed CR and LRs for you people. Why do we arrange, I mean, make that student council? And it's a official procedure that we select students, we take their interviews, and then we select proper students. And then those students carry out the work throughout the year. In fact, yeah. So Why do we appoint those? Because they are not required for only one event or one occasion. They are required for everyday basis, for all the events and all the classes. We need someone to take responsibility. Now, now this example of appointing CRs and LRs for some future use or for some use of longer period, that can be compared to this object creation. Object creation by allocating it a proper name and allocating a memory space. So why do we create that? Why do we name that memory space with the object name? Because we want to use it in future again and again or multiple times. Now, on the contrary, take the example or imagine a situation where there is only one event. Like, for example, suppose there is a COVID drive going on and we have not made any prior arrangement. There is a crowd, then what do? Some students are present and we just call some student whom we feel that, okay, that person has a potential. We call that student and that student, we tell that student, okay, today's event you are going to handle. I mean, handle the crowd, make a group or make some arrangement, you organize this. So for that, now we have allocated or we have appointed that students dynamically. Now we have not taken audition or we have not taken interview for selecting such student. Why? Because that student is selected only for the temporary organization of that particular event. It's not, we are not going to keep up that student for future events. It is just dynamically selected for that. Then what do? We don't give him some any label badge that he is a CR or LR or he's some monitor, GS, etc. It is just unofficial thing, which is just going to be destroyed after the event is over. So similarly, you can see here when we execute this complete line, this OBJ is created for some permanent use and memory will be allocated. Instead, when we don't do this, we just say new swing demo. Then what happens when we say new? It will actually the memory allotment happens, but this will not be for the permanent use. Here what happens when we say new swing demo, it will try to call the constructor. Memory will not be allocated for permanent use here. It will just point to that particular constructor of that particular class. Now here, see here. Basically, we want here the object. Why did we create the object? Are we using that object for calling any method in on further lines here? No, there are no other lines. We are just calling a constructor. Our intention to create that object was just to call the constructor. Even in the previous program, you will see that there is only one line. We have created that object and that object is doing nothing. It is something like we have appointed, we have taken interview, we have appointed CLLR and there is no further use. So it is simply created and no work. So that to avoid that, what do? We just want to call a constructor, isn't it? So we can call it with this line. Yesterday, I don't remember who asked that question. That whether this will work, it will not give error. It will not give error because our intention here is to just give a call to the constructor, because our entire frame design is there in the constructor. So in the main method, we are just going to call this constructor. That's all. Fine. So that's why here we are avoiding creation of that object. Even if you create, that will not give any problem. That will work very fine as it happens. But simply to avoid that complication, we are just managing with uh, calling a constructor here. This will call a default constructor, which is without any parameter. Okay. Now, here. Uh, okay, before that, when we call this constructor here, that constructor, we don't want to call simply. We could have called simply also. We can just paste it here with by deleting all other lines. But why we have kept all these other lines? That the reason is these swing programs are, you can say they should be run on a safe thread. Instead of disturbing the main thread, which starts by default when we start executing any program, we create a specialized thread, and the name of that specialized thread is, anyone remembers? What is the name of that specialized thread which we are creating here? Reply through chat. Forgot? The name of that thread is event dispatching thread. It is a specialized thread which we create using this method called as invoke later. There are other methods called as invoke later and invoke and wait. So one of these two methods can be used, and that belongs to the class called as Swing Utilities. So we are calling invoke later, but here the thread has to be created. Now to create a thread here, we are making use of runnable interface, and instead of creating a class which implements runnable interface, we are creating an anonymous class here. So actually we can just keep it here itself, because invoke later requires a parameter of the which should be a thread name, instead of again creating a class and its object can be passed as a thread name here as a parameter. But instead of doing that, we are doing a shortcut. Directly we are trying to create an instance of this. This instance is created as anonymous inner class, and that inner class just overrides the run method. I mean, yeah, run method which is given in the interface, and inside run method we are just calling a constructor. So what is the meaning of run method? That particular thread which is created just now here, that will execute the statements which are there here. So this calling of a constructor will be done by that specialized thread. And this is how our frame gets executed. Anyway, this was just a revision. Now let us go to the next program. Our next program is to demonstrate event handling in Swing. Again, just be prepared for some new twist in a program. Earlier program we have seen simple applet program where we have added two numbers, then we did student registration form in the last semester. Here we are doing the same similar program. So the output is going to be like this. Let me run and show you first, so that you can imagine what should be the functioning of it. Yeah, here also we are creating a frame. The frame size is given small, so it's showing small frame here. Is this visible? Output window? Yes, reply through chat again. Okay. So now see what happens. When I click on alpha, there is a label called as, there is a blank label. The moment I click on alpha, it says alpha was pressed. The moment I click on beta, it says beta was pressed. I close, it gets closed. Let me run again. By default, that label has some text here. That label says by default at the time of execution, or when the label is created, the default text there is press a button. The moment I press a button, there are two buttons on this, isn't it? You can maximize to see what is there on the title bar, an event example. So when the frame is created, we have passed this parameter, an event example. Then the two buttons are created with the text alpha and beta. And then there is a label. You can see this layout followed on this frame is auto layout. Auto layout means the moment I increase the size of the frame, automatically that label is shifting up. See, if I decrease it, that label will shift down. If I decrease it further, even that button will shift down like this. Clear? So this is how auto layout arranges the components as per the size availability. Anyways, so by default, this label is created with a text called as press a button. Now this program is not only a static design, it also works to the events. Events means which event? Click event. The moment I click on this button, it says alpha was pressed. The moment I click on this button, it says beta was pressed. Now, the traditional way of writing this program would be how? I will just tell you orally. We would just create an applet or frame normally. We would add these buttons, and first, when we create a class, we would either implement listener. We would implement which listener we would implement for button click event. Anyone remembers? Yes, reply through chat, quick. Action event, very good. So we would implement action listener, and then in the action listener, we would override one method. Which is that method? Action perform, very good. So we should override action perform method. Now, in the action perform method, uh, to understand which button was pressed, how do we understand which button is pressed? Yes, chat replies. How do we understand which button was pressed? There is a method which would tell us the name of that button or the text on the button, whichever is clicked or pressed. Yeah, get action command, very good Kala. So get action command, using that we can identify, first we have to identify which button is pressed, and accordingly we could write this message. So you can write your program using that traditional way also. Those who really want to achieve expertise in this programming, all of you take this as a homework today. Or you try to write this program using our traditional method that have two buttons, alpha and beta, and the label. Initially, it should be press a button, and the moment I click whichever button, that label should change accordingly. Fine. So that why I'm telling you people to write that program, because now the same program I'm explaining here, but here the method used to write this program is little different. It is using the technique of anonymous inner classes. So how, let us see. So we have imported AWT event. Event is required here because event handling is there. It is not just for display purpose. It responds to the event. Whichever button I'll click accordingly, it is going to give me the message. Then we have imported Swing because we are using Swing components here. The name of my class is event demo. I have one label here. Why I have initialized that label above? Because I'm going to use that label in responding to the event. Anyway, so let us see. Then there is a constructor event demo. Inside the constructor, I have created a frame with the title and event example. Then we have specified the layout. Even if you don't specify, it will take the default layout. Still, how to set the layout? This is just an example. Frame name, see here, our frame name is JFRM. So that we are going to use here, jfrm.setLayout. And inside that, as a, we have to call this constructor of whichever layout we want to specify. In our journal program later, we have grid layout. That time I will explain how that grid layout can be used. Right now, understand flow layout doesn't require any values to be passed. So you just have to say new flow layout here. Okay. Then we are setting the size for the frame window. Okay. It is a smaller size. If you want to increase, you can also increase. Then there is the moment the frame gets closed, I must close it. So I'm passing exit on close here, set default close operation. I add two buttons here. What are the names of the buttons I have given? See, these are not normal buttons. These are swing components. So J button is there. And what is the name of the button I have given? J button alpha. which will have a text alpha written on it. Similarly, I have another button by the name J button beta, which will have a text beta written on it. So these two buttons are created, but we need to add them. Fine. Yes, the buttons are added below. Can you see here? Frame dot add. So we have added a button, alpha button, then we have also added a beta button. Now these two buttons, we also have to register these buttons to the listener, right? So our normal way of writing would be, we normally create, when we created a class, here we would have written implements action listener, isn't it? But have we written here? We have not written. Why we have not written here? Because when we create that, when we implement action listener here, while registering with the listener, you remember we used to say, suppose this is a button name, add action listener, and we would say this. This means what? The current instance of the class, because this class, when we implement that particular action listener, this class itself becomes a kind of instance to that listener. Fine. So we would write here this, but instead of writing this here, because we have not implemented, we have not created a class which will inherit the listener and then it will override action perform method. Instead of doing all this, what we have done a shortcut here. We have tried to create an instance of the interface itself here. Which interface we are using? All listeners are the interfaces. So at the time of instantiation here, we are doing it with the anonymous inner class again. So normally we used to say add action listener, and this means the pointer to the current class object or current class. We could write this when our class would implement that particular action listener. Now we can't write this because our class has not implemented the listener. Here dynamically we are trying to create anonymous inner class, and that inner class, it is when we create a reference of this listener, that means we have created a class here which has implemented action listener. And where is that class? Here with the brackets. See here, you can see we have closed the bracket and then we have created this round bracket of add action listener, and then we have given semicolon. So there is an anonymous inner class. What is the job of anonymous inner class? Anonymous inner class will inherit that particular class which is going to be instantiated here. It will inherit and it will try to override the methods which are defined in this class. So which method is defined in action listener? Action perform. So I have here overridden action perform method. And what have I done here in the action perform method? I'm just displaying a text called as where I'm displaying the text on the label. So label dot set text. I'm setting the text as alpha was pressed. Why I'm doing this as alpha was pressed here? Why get action command is not required here? Because here using this anonymous inner class, one more advantage is, as I told you, anonymous inner classes can be created for private use purpose. They will not belong to the whole outer class. They will belong to only this particular, you can say, reference. Now I have created this anonymous inner class. It will belong to only this object. What is that? J button alpha. So only to alpha button this particular action performed is written. And only when the alpha button is pressed, this will get executed. So there is no confusion to know which button was pressed, and then that action performed need not judge which button was pressed, because this action performed will work only for this alpha button. Now this method has got advantage as well as disadvantage. Advantages, there will be no confusion if there are multiple buttons, because this method is exclusively for the use of alpha button only. This disadvantage would be, Here, you can see now. What is the disadvantage? Now, when I come across this beta button, now I have to register this beta button also with the listener. Please pay attention because it is not easy to understand. So please pay attention. So whenever I have a beta button here, whenever I'm going to register it to the listener, while registering it to the listener again, instead of writing this, I have again dynamically trying to instantiate action listener through anonymous inner class. So here again, I have another anonymous inner class, which will override action performed itself. Now this anonymous inner class is exclusively for the use of this beta button. And this action performed will execute only for beta button. And whenever that beta button will be pressed, this action performed will be called. And what line is there? What line of execution is there? That label name, whichever label, common label is there, set text as beta was pressed. So I hope you have understood the difference between our traditional way of writing a program, and this is a new technique using anonymous inner class. Fine? Yeah. Then what I have done, I have also, now here I have created a label and I have added a label on the frame. See, as you go on adding, when in the same sequence, the components will get added. First alpha button is added, then beta button is added, then we have added a label. And finally, we have set the form as visible, true. Then in the main method again, what we have done, we just have to call the constructor, which we have defined here, called as event demo. Now to give a call to the constructor, we have to just write only one line called a new event demo. But just to be on the safer side, we are trying to call this constructor using our event dispatching thread. So how to create event dispatching thread? Using Swing utilities, invoke later. And here we are using Runnable class to create a thread, and which overrides this run method. And inside that run method, we are calling this constructor. I hope this program is clear to you. Now I will unmute you people. So those who have any doubt can unmute yourself and ask. Others can continue with attendance. Any doubt in the program? Anyone has any doubt in the program? Yes, at least few people will try to write our this same program again with the functionality, 2 buttons, and whichever button is clicked, that button's name will be displayed on the label using our traditional way. You may use applet or you may use Swing. Oh, sorry, I mean frame. Yes, no doubts.